Welcome back to STL Live. I'm Raynah Rey here with Father Gerry Kleba, author of Are You Still a Priest?, which we have a copy of right here. Father Kleba, you were going to answer the question, how do priests relate to the youth now?
Well, I think it's with a whole lot of caution, a whole lot of distance. I mean, I'm very happy that I lived the bulk of my priestly life as a priest where that kind of hesitancy and distancing wasn't a requirement.
Mm-hmm. What are we going to find in your book?
Well, you're going to find my 15 great stories of my life with kids. Now it says true stories of tension and trust. See, so I was careful that when I finished a story about some particular situation, now some of the kids in my book I met a week after I was ordained. So one of them, the oldest person in the book, is now 58 years old, and she's a surgical nurse at St. John's Mercy Hospital. You know, so these people aren't kids anymore. Now her first communion picture is in the book, but she's got children in college, and but I wanted to tell true stories because lies, cover-ups, denials, and payoffs got us in all the trouble.
Well, would you share one of those true stories with us?
Sure. Okay, here's a story about a boy I only met for 15 seconds, personally. I wrote a previous book called The People Parish, which is about my work in social justice fields at Visitation Church in North St. Louis. It's used in many social justice classes in Catholic school religion programs. And so the priest at the Priory School in West St. Louis County would have the students read that and then would arrange for me to take the students through some kind of a field trip day in St. Louis where they went to the St. Patrick's Center and they went to an inner city school and they went to some other places that were pretty far outside their comfort zone. And so this particular boy, Michael Potter's his name, was on this day, and at the end of the day at 2:15 they would come to church for a prayer service, and then they'd leave to get on the buses at 10 to 3 and go back out to West County. And so I'd stand in the front church door entrance and shake hands with each one of them, and this was a senior class, and I'd ask them where they were going to go to school or what's after graduation. And so, as I say, about 15 seconds. So he leaves. 3 weeks later, I see this news report that this boy from the Priory was killed in a fiery car crash. But I didn't know the boys' names, and I wouldn't have remembered. So I thought, well, I wonder whether that's one of the kids that I've talked with and spent a day with. And then the teacher called me up a few weeks later and said, did you see the news about Michael Potter dying? I said, yeah. I said, did I ever meet him? Oh, yeah, he was in the last class I brought down there. His mother wants to come see you. And I said, oh, okay, fine. So I'm going to bring her down. She's afraid to come downtown by herself. Well, that's fine. Just come on down. You know, we'll visit. So she comes down and she shows me all of his graduation pictures, but see, he died before graduation. So, and she tells me what a good boy he is and that he'd been on a spring break trip and came home and stayed too late at his girlfriend's house since he hadn't seen her in a week, and then he just fell asleep going home. And so of course she's in tears, and then she says to me, after the funeral I went to school to clean out his locker. And she said, I found the last paper he ever wrote for school, which was a report on the social justice class. And in the paper, he wrote that I don't really feel like I'm called to be a priest because probably my girlfriend's too important to me, so I'm not into that kind of a life. But I saw what Father Kleba did, and I read his book, The People Parish, and I just feel like whatever I want to do in my life, I want to be like Father Kleba.
Wow.
So she said, I don't have a son to send to college anymore, and you got a school here that's poor in the inner city. And so she said, I got all this college tuition money, so she gave me $10,000.
Wow, that's amazing. I wish we had more time to talk, Father Kleba, but we don't. However, you know, there are more stories like that in your book.
You can get it at Catholic Supply and Left Bank Books.
Great. Are You Still a Priest is currently available for purchase on Amazon. There's more STL Live after this. Stay with us.